two veteran quarterbacks looking for a return to the playoffs. It's The Coach. This is Week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, two teams who stayed home for the playoffs last year start 2019 with high hopes. We'll see Matt Ryan of the Atlanta Falcons taking on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back at halftime with a look at games in progress. But first, we get up to Minneapolis. Standing by our guys in the booth, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at US Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. So happy to be with you, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, and we thought it would never get here, but here we are back together. It's opening weekend of the 100th season in the NFL.
So much football to talk about. That's our main focus. But how about how much happened in the offseason? Rules changes. Overtime rules were discussed in a big way. Some superstars changed addresses. There's a whole lot to talk about in the NFL in addition to this game we're getting ready to watch.
Dan Bailey now to put the ball in the air, and we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Falcons heading out. Matt Ryan leading the way. No quarterback has thrown for more passing yards in the first 11 years of a career than Matt Ryan has. Better than 46,000. Last year, he added 4,900 more to the total, actually 4,924 to be exact, which, by the way, is just 20 yards fewer than his MVP season of 2016. A carry for Devontae Freeman, who missed most of last season. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
And Anthony Barr just has it all as far as I'm concerned in terms of physique, athletic ability, and now he's versatile as well. When he came out of UCLA, he played outside linebacker, but also down defensive end. The Vikings can utilize those same sort of skills.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. The throw is Ryan, and it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Here now the offensive starters for Atlanta.
Obviously a tough test for this offense right out of the gate. Road game in game 1 of the new year. Conventional wisdom says, go slow, take care of the football. I think in this case, attack early and get the home team back on their heels.
On third down, Devontae Freeman. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Out come the Vikings with Kirk Cousins leading the way. Cousins surprisingly efficient in his first season as a member of the Vikings. He hit on better than 70% of his passes, second only to Drew Brees, and was actually just the 6th ever NFL quarterback to finish a season above that 70% mark. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Dalvin Cook, 3rd year back from Florida State, and he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
And last night we were discussing some of the changes they've made offensively during the offseason, and we know it helps for them to have the first game at home. Hopefully this crowd, which we saw coming in, they've been here for a while, ready to go. You and I should have joined the tailgates, that's for sure. They're going to give them plenty of encouragement. They'll try and ride that wave and get their first victory of the year.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. The starting defense for the Falcons.
Probably no one happier to hit the field than Deion Jones, the middle linebacker of the Falcons. Limited to just 6 starts in 2018 due to injury. He's exactly what you want running your defense. Smart, fast, and physical.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at 4th down. On now to kick it away is the punter, Matt Weil. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Boy, you go 3 and out on your first drive, and that's not the way you want to start this drive either. Doesn't seem like they're really into it just yet.
No, first 4 plays, you don't want to call it a disaster, but not looking very sharp. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. From the gun, it's Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. And now he's really knocking on the door for 700. That is career catch 699.
Ready, blue 80, blue 80. Check, walk 54, Let's go. Ready, go.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. These two teams, the Falcons and the Vikings, have met 30 times since the Falcons' inaugural year in the league back in 1966. And the Vikings winning 19 of those games, but maybe the most memorable game between the two was Falcons' victory. That was in the NFC Championship game back in January of '99. Gary Anderson missed a field goal to potentially win it at the end of regulation, and then the Falcons would get the victory in OT 30-27, and they were off to the Super Bowl. He's got a first down and more inside the 30 and all the way down to the 25-yard line. A nice pickup there, 18 yards, first down Falcons. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
On first down, Green. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Harrison Smith is a player I love to watch. Whether he's ranging deep as a free safety or near the line of scrimmage where he makes more plays, keep your eyes on him.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
Ryan. Caught by Sanu. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons.
Mohamed Sanu is a guy that is often overlooked because he just quietly goes about his business. But how about last season? Had a career-high 838 yards on 66 catches, and he can also play wildcat quarterback for you as well.
And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Chubb to the goal line, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Mohamed Sanu there, and it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Chubb. A big seam, and he might go all the way. 30, 10, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
What you just saw there, first-round talent, second year, even more success. A pick 6 for a touchdown.
A great play. And it's tough for these guys, you've told me before, to adjust in the secondary as a first-year guy. So that sophomore season is big for them.
They really start to expand the playbook for them even more. Sometimes they dumb it down a little bit to make them comfortable year 1. By year 2, they should have all the nuances, and now they've adjusted to the speed of NFL play as well.
Showed right there. Dan Bailey now for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings defense getting ready to go. And a big reason they've got the lead here in the first half, some of these hits we're going to see here.
Almost like they're a group of superheroes, right? Something out of a comic book. Boom, pow, biff. They are really playing well and making things happen on their side of the ball.
Taking me back to my childhood a bit.
There you go. You had a collection, didn't you?
I did. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football. This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
They'll run on first down. It's Grant. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. Throwing on second down. Ryan. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Cook. They find some open field here. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Cook. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
From the 40 now on second down. Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. First down, here's the run with Cook. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, "Hey, these pants make me look fat?" And we said, "Nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy."
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I wonder if they just kind of outguessed themselves a little bit trying to run it on 3rd down. Probably should have gone to the air to try and pick it up. Instead, the punting unit will have to run on the field.
And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And here now come the Falcons. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Well, they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Eric Kendricks, the Vikings' leading tackler a season ago, in on the stop. On 2nd and 7, Ryan. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley, but it'll be 2nd down. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. To throw again, Ryan, and he will find Ridley. That's complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It's a gain of 16, first down Falcons.
Calvin Ridley more than justified his first-round selection in 2018. 64 catches as a rookie and found the end zone 10 times. Did a nice job getting open right there and picking up a first down.
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Get out the field, defense.
They run. Devontae Freeman. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. From the 45 on 2nd down. Shaw firing quickly here, and that's complete. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And Falcons fans everywhere excited that Devontae Freeman is back on the field wearing number 24 in the red and black. Remember, he went down in week 2 in 2018 with an injury and didn't return. They're hoping to see the form that led him to 1,000-yard seasons in 2015 and 2016.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers? It's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. The tackle that time by William Hayes. From the 25 on 2nd down, Cousins. It's caught by Treadwell. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. This will be fielded at the 17. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. From the 29, Shaw going right side here, and that's complete. 14 yards there and a Falcon first down.
Ready? 60 or. Let's go.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Vikings 7, Falcons 3.
Set. 30 base. 54. Here we go, D. All day. Defense all day. All day. Let's go.
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And hang on here. Freeman shaken up. Remaining on the ground after that last play. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Ryan. Here's Sanu on the catch. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. The backup, Rob Kelly, his first carry. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it and they want to.
That's caught inside the 20. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 17-yard line. That reception, it brings him up to the 700 plateau. He's at 700 career NFL catches now.
And that club in baseball, a rather exclusive club and one we talk about all the time. In football, puts you in the top 50 all-time range. Not so bad either.
Ready. 280. Check Mike 54. Right 54. Get that quarterback.
On first down, it's Green. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
2 minutes gone by, second quarter. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons have taken the lead. Well, they weren't messing around. 1st and goal, they don't do anything fancy. They just go to the fullback right away.
I like how you phrase that because oftentimes they come back to the fullback when it's late in the down and distance count, right? In this case, first down, let's go get it right now.
And he got it. 6 points on the board. Dawson able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told, and it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Adam Thielen, he gets set to go again with the rest of this offense. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. A run there on first down gets 3 up to the 28. In on the tackle, Devondre Campbell, Falcons leading tackler in 2018. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Cousins, that's complete to the receiver, Thielen. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Watch the screen, watch the screen.
On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. They try to run on 1st down, but this defense says no dice. They stop him a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Mike is 59, Mike is 59. Watch the pass, watch the pass.
On 2nd and 12, Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down.
Big stop, G. Big stop, let's go.
They'll run on 1st down. Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. To throw, Cousins. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. A first run for the backup, Abdullah. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to about the 19.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will knot us up at 10. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A reminder coming up later tonight, the Patriots unfurl their 6 banners. They play host to their rival Steelers. And then on Monday night, it's the one weekend of the year where you get 2 games to wrap up the week. Texans and Saints from New Orleans in the early game, then Broncos and Raiders. Vic Fangio's coaching debut, and the Raiders' final season opener in Oakland. That's the late game, 10:30 Eastern. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. This thrown quickly out to Jones. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. From the shotgun, Ryan. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. 3rd and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
And from down in Miami, an update. The Dolphins have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Grant, and an alley to run. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. 14 yards there and a Falcon first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They will run with Grant. And he's got this down to the 35. 14 yards there and a Falcon first down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Ready, Blue 80! Blue 80! Right 54! Right 54! Better bring it! You better bring it!
On first down, Grant, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Now they'll throw it with Ryan. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play too.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this run.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Different story this time around. We have that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. An NFL update. Second quarter now in Jacksonville. And the Chiefs have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This from 54 yards away. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Adam Thielen and the rest of the Vikings offense, they get set for their next possession. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise, he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's go.
Here's Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. The Vikings on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. So they went a little cautious there on 3rd and long.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Remember, they're playing with a lead right now. So getting a first down, yes, that would be great. But even more importantly, take care of the football. No turnovers, no big plays for the other team, and keep the clock moving.
Here's Matt Weil now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. This is taken at the 23. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Around the NFL, they're in the 2nd in Philly. And the Eagles out in front early. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
Down, ready, white 25. White 54. Hey, I'm coming, I'm coming.
On 2nd and 11 now. Ryan He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. It's a gain of 16, first down Falcons.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Ready, blue 80, line 25. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
They'll run on first down. It's Grant, and he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Hey, check.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Ryan. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times and 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 6. Now it's Ryan. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. On first down, a running play ends up going backwards as he won't get close to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he's going to lose 4 yards.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
The best play callers in any league know how to break their tendencies. They study themselves, they self-scout, and they realize most of the time you don't call a draw play on 1st and 10. So every so often you insert that play just to make the defense think, even if it's not successful.
The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Shahad, 180. Come on, 45. What we got? What we got? What we got?
On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Hey, let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
On first down, it's Cook. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to turn you up.
Cousins to throw it. He completes it to Treadwell. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons 16. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
59, Mike to 59. Time to go, night.
They'll run on first down. It's Cook. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Watch the screen, watch the screen.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Cousins. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs there to make the grab. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Bailey now for the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
Here we go.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 14 yards there and a Falcon first down.
It's a party now. Let's go.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. This one caught by Ridley. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The end result, 21 yards.
First down, Falcons.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt.
Next to score, Vikings
So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
This is taken near the 13. So we are at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season, so let's take our first trip around the NFL. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentator, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. A running play on first down will get 4 up to the 29. Desmond Trufant there making the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 29, Cousins. And this one to Treadwell, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
Falcon territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. On 1st down, it's Cook, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Cousins now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on 1st down. Cousins gives way to Cook. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Play fake. Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Now left side, a completion to his tight end, and able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now Shaw. And almost intercepted. That would have been his 3rd pick in this game alone. Instead, 4th down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The tackle made there by Tack McKinley. From the 40 now on 2nd down. Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Cousins. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Coming to you, coming to you.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That one goes for 24 yards.
10 logo. 55. Watch the slap. Watch the slap.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1. Here's Schaub. And that'll be hauled in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown pass as his guys have cut the lead down to 2. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
From the gun, it's Ryan. And he's got it here for the 2 points, but there is a marker down, so we'll have to see what that's about. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting a lead. So you're not playing that way. You've got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Cousins now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Back to the ground, Cook. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 18. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
They'll run on first down. It's Cook. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
Second down and 6 at the 14.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Cousins. It's caught by Treadwell. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Cousins able to connect with Treadwell for a Minnesota first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
They'll run with Cook. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Cousins toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal. Offensively, not what they wanted there, but hey, you can kick the field goal here and take the lead.
Felt like a little bit of a statement stop, didn't it? You know, made a big play right there. Okay, guess what? Ball's in your court, guys. What are you going to do? Myself, I kick the field goal, get the 3, and take the lead.
Bailey's kick is good, and they have regained the lead. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
60 outlaw.
On 1st down. It's Grant. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a throw here on 2nd down, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Schaub now 9 of 17 through the air. Not a great percentage, but it is 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 17 yards and a 1st down for Atlanta.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Caught by Sanu. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the 1st.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. From the 30 on 2nd down, Ryan, and his throw's going to be incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free. They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
So where would they be without his leg? Well, they'd be losing, that's for sure. Now, 4 field goals, and as mentioned, this last one ties the game.
Yeah, but you know that kickers get a lot of grief, right? A lot of jokes about kickers, how easy it is for them. It's really nice to see these guys coming through in the clutch.
Boy, hard to ask for a better game thus far. 27 apiece is our score as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
Guys, escape the situation. Let's go.
On 2nd and 7, Cousins. And Diggs has it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards, first down, Vikings. They'll run on first down. Cook. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Throwing, Cousins, and he's able to find Diggs. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. The Vikings first down, Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence because how do you cover? Do you go with the bigger guy to try and use size? Can you try and go with the quicker guy and sometimes you even get out quick there? Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On 2nd and 12, Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. On the delay, this is Abdullah. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Matt Weil now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. He'll look to throw. It's caught. Jones. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 15 yards, first down, Atlanta.
First down, Atlanta.
Just week one, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Tackle made by the 2nd-round pick, Isaiah Oliver.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
From the 39, Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a 1st down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
On 1st down, it's Cook. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll run again. This time it's Abdullah. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Throwing on 2nd down. Cousins. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Quit talking about it and bring it.
They'll run on first down. Cook. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. We see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed a big hit for a loss. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Here's Abdullah. And he'll be tackled right on the 10, well short of the first down. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up fourth down. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
So a big kick coming now for Dan Bailey.
A 27-yard attempt.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And with that, they will move out in front by 3. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr. Matt Ryan trying to lead the Falcons from behind. Last year in 16 starts, just one fourth-quarter comeback for the QB. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Here's Ryan. He's got two. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there, and he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Schaub now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing.
Here's a 2nd and 7. This one caught by Ridley. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 35. A cool little accomplishment for him passing the football. 25,000 yards. He just surpassed that for his career.
When he was a little guy in the backyard just throwing it around probably with his dad, he thought about playing in the NFL. He dreamed of it. But to put up these kind of numbers while doing so, that's got to be kind of cool for him. He'll enjoy the heck out of thinking about that when this one is over. We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
On first down, it's Kelly, and he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Ryan over the middle. That's caught by Ridley. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The Falcon passing game looking good on this drive as they get the first down. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. There for the sack, Everson Griffin.
Well, that was point-counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
After the sack on 1st down, Ryan. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
4th down now after a loss of 2.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And Dawson's kick is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. Cook stripped, the ball's out, and the Falcons grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. 2nd and 5 now. Schaub. That is incomplete.
The goal of anyone running a curl route is to make sure you try and get defenders on your back and shield them away from the football. But sometimes even when you run a good route, the defense finds a way to knock it away.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by, but that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed them out quite a bit so far, but it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now Cousins. this one to Treadwell, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Give to Cook out of the gun. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He completes it to Treadwell. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
The catch, deservedly so, is going to get a lot of credit, but even more so because there's a defender there ready to make a play.
Yeah, just flat out muscled on that one. They'll run on 1st down. Cook looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Cousins to throw it. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down. They had to run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. On 1st down, it's Grant. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Ready up. Mike by 4. It's our field. It's our field.
From the 45 on 2nd down. Chubb, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
Here's Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. They'll run on first down. It's Cook. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Cousins to throw. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On first down, Cook. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
I'm coming for you. You mine.
They run it again with Cook. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Third down, Dalvin Cook. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to take the lead here in the final minute. Bailey's kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. And I tell you, when it comes to needing a field goal in closing seconds, pressure situation, there's something to be said for having a veteran kicker trot out there.
Agreed. It's so nice to have someone you can rely on, someone who you know has done it before. And this guy's as cool as they come, isn't he?
Matt Ryan and the Falcon offense set to get going again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Here we go.
Back to throw. Here's Sanu on the catch. A nice pickup there, 18 yards, first down Falcons. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. But now I'm listening to you. So for the